say it's a push, but I'm not necessarily sure. Very good games on Saturday. Yeah, I'm going to call those in a little bit. I'm going to call this a lot of good games on Saturday. And I'm kind of glad we getting out the way at 12. Still expected to move that game for some reason. So the boys got his squad, dial in, got Alabama favored by 3 on the road. I'll take it. However, I would love to see the running game take control and control that clock again and, take the game out, just take the game into the second quarter and walk out of Columbia with like a 13-point victory. Just control the game by the second. Let's just get out here safely. 13-point victory, little convincing. Let everybody know we ain't joking around with them. I mean, we favored by 3.5, but I think we can win by a touchdown. Getting ready for the other. We got a lot of people to play down the line. I mean, we got a lot of people to get ready for. But other games of impact, as PhD so eloquently brought up, roll tide to your PhD, there's some games I want to see. I'm done with Missouri. Missouri should prepare to get beat. Just go ahead and focus on the next week because we're not going to go into Columbia and walk out of there with an L. That's not exactly them right now. I'll say that. But other games that impacted me, Pittsburgh is going down to number 10, FSU. They're favored by 16.5. We need the Noles to keep winning, man. I hate this. I hope they, Pittsburgh offense, they're like their offense is like the rhythm of a broken metronome. You ever seen a metronome that moves like this? They're a mediocre team. I don't see it being no problem for them. I don't like Castellanos or none of this stinking team, whatever, but we need them to win. We just need them to win. Ohio State and Illinois. First of all, Florida State is favored by 17.5 points. Ohio State is going over to, Champaign-Urbana in Illinois to play Illinois. They're favored by 27.5. Now, was Indiana? Yeah, Indiana was in the playoffs, but Illinois was in the top. They were in the top 25 at least. I mean, they play defense like it's a suggestion. Man, Jeremiah Smith is gonna treat them like they are. He'll come out the huddle looking at a menu. Let's see. How do I want to eat? Do I want to eat in the corner of the end zone, or do I want to eat under the goalpost? No. I want to eat right here at the -1 yard line, just right inside of the goal line. I want, yes, table for one, please. He gonna tear them up. Ryan Day has his facial hair has more structure than the Illinois defense. I can't believe these, And I'm gonna just say this too. If the Buckeyes roll and the Illini folds, in the typical Big Ten versus everyone else, Big Ten East versus everyone else matchup, that this game is not competitive at all and turns out to be some big old joke, then just don't talk to me about how competitive too much that the Big Ten is. I don't care. Next up, number 6 Oklahoma going against Texas, who's ranked number. Texas is ranked number. Missing that right here. Texas. I had Texas. Oh, it appears that Texas is not ranked any longer. What happened? Texas is not ranked? Oh my God. Oklahoma going into I want to say it the politically correct way. This is the Red River rivalry. No longer the Red River Bang Bang. Anyway, Texas is favored but unranked against Oklahoma. Oklahoma is going to Austin. Now the experts think the Horns are going to win. Is that some of that Arch Manning hype left over? Huh? Arch Manning is going to go remind them that they got to play defense. Now, Oklahoma got defense. I don't know how good it is yet. I ain't looked at it, but I'm thinking Oklahoma gonna win this game. Texas trying to act like, 15 years of whatever hadn't gone by since they won that championship, but they looked terrible last week. But I think if the Sooners can pull this one off, man, Arch may try to do too much and make some mistakes. I'm a man. I don't know what he might try to do. Some people have suggested he need to be set out. They need to sort that boy down somewhere. Hey, ain't my call. Shout out to you, Sark. You didn't learn that at Tuscaloosa. Oregon, number 3 versus number 7, Indiana? Is this a basketball game? Now listen to this. Oregon is number 3. Indiana is number 7. Oregon is favored by 24.5 doggone points. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How is that even a thing? Number 17 is a 24.4 underdog at home. That's just stupid. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. The Hoosiers are suited for basketball season. Ducks gonna win this by a mile. It's there, unless something crazy happen. I'm gonna peek in on that game because it is a game of top 10 matchup. Somebody check that, because that might not be right. That sounds crazy. Basketball season's around the corner though, so shout out to you, Indiana. Go sit down somewhere you suck. Arkansas versus Tennessee. Tennessee's number 12. I'm just checking that out because the Weasley's back. Bobby Petrino. He's a weasel. He's a weasel and a rat. Every time I hear him talk, I hear the voice when he left the Atlanta Falcons high and dry. I hear when he left in the middle of the night, I hear the sounds of a girl falling off a motorcycle. Every time he talks, I hear. You ever watch those documentaries of those little underground rodents and stuff? How they be? That every time I hear, he could be saying, well, we're going to be giving $500,000 to the National Motor. I don't hear nothing but that. That's all I hear, because the man is a weasel. So be careful, Tennessee Volunteers, with your snitches. Arkansas usually has more broken plays than a middle school drama, but these snitches at Tennessee's QB arms, it's a little inaccurate. But it's more than dangerous for anything Arkansas has, unless the weasel sets in. Be careful out there. Let's see. Tennessee is favored by 10.5. They got the crowd, but that man is a weasel. And trust me. Don't leave him in the room with your girl. Don't leave him with your girl, dog. Don't leave him with your girl. Don't leave Bobby Petrino in the room with your girl. Some folks, you can't leave your girl in the room. Don't do it. Florida. That's already. Anytime somebody's playing Florida, now we got to put the other team on upset alert. Number 5, Texas A&M. It's time to prove it. If you want to take the state, this is the time to prove it, Elko. You're favored by 6.5 with Florida coming to town. Now, I still don't know how Florida won that game, but it is what it is. Florida's defense couldn't stop a plane from reaching its destination before last week. But Elko's offense actually works. And that's a terrifying thought to a lot of people. I'm glad we don't play them yet. One more year, we're going to be ready for everybody. I think some people we probably don't want to play. But let's just get through this season. They're not on our schedule right now. So Aggies, pride, all that stuff, y'all go do what you do. Billy Napier, coaching is clock management, but even his clock management will make like Nick Saban get like he start scratching and itching. But I don't blame him, man. I believe in clock management. So all the best to you. That's probably, if it should be a good game. But you got to admit that a lot of people in Texas, even Ben Eli, his surrounding cast and the defense, they didn't try to help him at all. And that's what I'm saying. It's not Eli, Arch. Arch, life ain't fair, man. It ain't fair. It just ain't fair. That's all I can say. Another game I'm looking at is, this is interesting. Number 15, Michigan going out to California. It's already jet lag, although Michigan plays well in California. Michigan is a 9.5 point favorite, but if USC wants to make a statement, they can make it right here. If he wants to turn that program around and make those people stick with his program, This coach, I can't think of his name. The guy, he right here is where he needs to do it, but he don't have no defense. And one thing I do know that Michigan still specializes in is being strong and bringing pain. You know, they're gonna pancake a lot of Trojans. Let me think about that for a minute. Pancake a lot of Trojans. Pause. Michigan's offensive line is gonna pancake a lot of Trojan defenders like they owe them money. But I'm just saying, they got to bow their back. Lincoln Riley. Your team got to bow their back, man. You at home. You ain't California football, college football is dead. Dead in the water. Just found out today that somebody gave Stanford, what's the guy that used to be the coach for the used to be the quarterback for the Colts, who had to retire because of injuries. He's the GM for Stanford, and they're coached by Frank Wright. There's somebody that gives them $50 million every year, and they look like trash. I want to reach out to that guy right now. There's a school, sir, in Tuskegee. It's called Tuskegee, Alabama, Tuskegee University. They would love to have some of that money so we can put some kids through school. And then, you know, if you want to just roll with the winner, leave Tuskegee, go right over to Tuscaloosa, and give him that $50 million. Because giving Stanford athletics $50 million to put that on the field, that's almost ungodly, sir. Anyway, I think the Wolverines going to cruise, and my man's going to be probably crying on the sideline. You know, these guys. I did not like that display. I would make fun of him forever. I don't care if he wins 16 national championships. I hope he don't win the 16 national championships without us winning 16. But I will always forever remember him stepping in for Coach Harbaugh, winning that game and just losing his ish. That was ridiculous. South Carolina over at LSU. I don't think South Carolina has a chance unless LSU just come out there flat. I'm telling y'all, even in today's day, do y'all realize that Coach Kelly actually cusses out players worse than Nick Saban, but to none effect? I think they just sit there and they get upset with him. And the longer they stay there, they go from having $100,000 that they save to going to $300,000 that they save. Then you start tuning them out as he's cussing, and then you say, "Can I just transfer somewhere so I get to the pros?" Because this man here, he cussed too much at them kids, man. My 2 rules in this NIL era: you cannot lie to these kids, and you cannot disrespect these kids. You gotta know. They gotta know that you love them, that you do anything for them. I just don't think Kelly, he don't give me that kind of feeling that he has that kind of trust from his players. Was fixing the salad, so I missed what you said about Arch. I'm saying, man, it wasn't all Arch's fault, man. The defense let the points be scored by Florida, and Arch didn't have a stellar day, but he didn't have an awful day, and people was dropping balls left and right. So one thing quarterbacks can't do, even Jalen Milroe, fantasy is, you can't go run and catch your own pass. That's all I said, PhD. I watched just have to watch the game to see, like, this is a Sarkisian problem, which is crazy because, you know, Sark is one of our most prestigious graduates of the Capstone Coaching Clinic. And I'm seeing stuff from all these guys that they didn't learn in Tuscaloosa. That's all I'm saying. But South Carolina should be able to go in here and be competitive, but they may lose by over 14 points. Unless, you know, I'm still waiting for the Norris Sellers to have that statement game. This could be a statement game for the Norris Sellers. He's a couple weeks after the concussion. He may go out there and just do some stuff, and he may think here's the Heisman hopeful stuff, or maybe I think Mel Kiper start putting his list out and like, man, number 12. Maybe he'll get focused in and be like, just start throwing people the ball, hit them in the hands even more so they can drop less. God, receivers are not that good over at South Carolina right now. But they should win. LSU should win big, but gotta be careful. Coach Kelly, you just down there doing too much. You take one more loss, though, you're gonna be somewhere with old Coach Ed. Your brother, show me where the door is. Go Tigers. That man got so much money with $17 million. He's still in the beach of California talking, go Tigers. And last but not least, Number 10, PhD's coming back in. I've seen memes of Arch working at McDonald's. Yeah, man, come on. Come on, man. Number 10, Georgia Bulldogs will be visiting the Auburn Tigers. The Auburn Tigers are 17.5 point underdog at home. The place that's cursed. Auburn offenses move slower than the line at Toomer's Corner on a losing weekend. That turnstile, I'm thinking, Coach Freeze, just if I may, for that turnstile pass blocking technique you're using is pretty crap. Yeah, that whole thing with the guy he touches the guy, he just turns around like, woo, woo. No, you don't stop doing that. Kirby Smart's defense is gonna chew up the Auburn Tigers like they're leftover UGA practice energy gummies. They're gonna jump them up, spit them out. But I do not think Georgia wins this game by 17.5 points. I think Auburn covers this game because they're stubborn. They're hard-headed. They don't know how bad they are. They're going to fight, and give it the old school spirit and all that stuff like that. The only thing that Auburn is consistent at is losing right now, especially to Georgia, in very embarrassing ways, and vice versa for Georgia. Last time they won, I think it was a tip by two players trying to get an interception. Instead of knocking the ball down, dude caught the ball finally and went to the end zone. But the Dogs, the experts think they're going to win by almost 3 touchdowns in the minimum. Even Georgia fans will be yawning at halftime. And hopefully, the sound of the Georgia fans yawning, hopefully, I'm not guaranteeing nothing to people that will be in attendance. But hopefully, all that yawning them dogs going to be doing, hopefully it help drown out the sound of the crying coming from the Auburn press box. So troubling. That's just troubling, man. I got to get out of here. That's just a troubling. You guys going to be in there crying. Hey, but don't forget, smack the subscribe button, flick the notification so you'll know when I go live and drop a video. Thank y'all for joining me this evening. Let's continue to grow the channel, folks. Poke that like button right in the eye. Make it well up. Make it turn red. Tell everybody what we're doing over here when you get back to the office this weekend. What? Debate! Oh my God! Hey man, they're gonna be crying in the press box, man. We're gonna be crying. Hopefully, but the dogs over there stretching like this. Hopefully, it'll drown out the sound of all that crying in the press box. Somebody, because they saying, man, somebody may get the old AX after this game. But I'm hoping that Auburn gets an upset on 2 touchdown victory, and we get an extension, Hugh Freeze extension for 15 years with a alternative for another 3 negotiated. Shout out to you, Rod. Rod, thank you for checking in. Shout out to you, PhD. Thank you for checking in. But shout out to the folks at B Sharp, at Sharp Shooters Podcast, Kangaroo Black, Barrymore, The Long Run with Piano Man, Rags and Fitness Podcast. Thank you all for making Alabama great always. And I want to wish these next guys, a successful rodeo and bass fishing season. That goes out to the brothers at Auburn Attic, Water Cooler Podcast, Bubba and the Old Man SC season, and over at the Uptempo Podcast. And let's not forget the AU loving, FSU loving, Huggy Beard himself, aka the Rooster Mac, and Vandy Chris at the Golden Brew Podcast. Can we be friends? Can we still be friends, Vandy Chris? Ryan Williams says hi, by the way. He said, Vandy Chris, hey man, you ought to feel kind of normal right now. Heart ought to be back, heart rate ought to be level, everything ought to be normal, man. Get your blood work done, A1C come back right, cholesterol is fine, sodium, you know what I'm saying, all the other little things, I don't know what they are, the hemoglobin, all that stuff, it ought to be normal now, because your stuff probably been raging over the last year. But I'm hoping those teams, all you guys teams, have a great rugby season.